What is going on, Discord? What is up, YouTube? My name is Hayez, and I am here with Artemis as always, and welcome to the Subject 4 podcast. We are a fan-made podcast where we talk about all things Project 863. If you don't know what Project 863 is, well, get with the times, my dude. Don't worry, though. You can catch up on all previous seasons and episodes on the Matthias Channel on YouTube, previously known as Project 863 Channel on YouTube, because for some reason, we're still in denial that Project 863 is dead, even though it is alive and well. We all know this.
Well, I think hi, Artemis here. Project 863 may be dead. It may be dead. It's just that the whole story that we're involved in is not. But the story isn't really 863, is it?
I think it is. Yeah. It's clearly all tied together.
I have heard the audience, by the way, everyone, and I have invited Squatter up here for the bromance, and you all enjoy the squeezy. Is that what we agreed to call you guys?
Is it squeezy? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sure.
But we do have the squeezies up here, so you guys, we have a little comic relief because it was a very spooky episode, and I'll let you. You said that you had some things that you wanted to talk about in the very beginning about this episode.
Before we even start talking about this episode, I want to pay homage to the late, great, departed Mike Badal. Mike Badal, as you know, quit. He left Spellbound, and he is a part of the studio no more.
He died.
I have put together a little piece that I would like to sing for Mike. Oh, Mikey boy. Oh, Mikey boy, the walls are calling. Oh, Mike, why'd you have to leave us, Mike? But let's talk about this seriously, on a real note. Yeah, you what?
From laughing. Oh my god. I'm so sorry. I did not know that is what he was going to do.
This is not a laughing matter. Mike Badal is gone, and he is never coming back. This is serious.
Oh my god, I love how you're turning your laughter into the cry.
He's gone. Oh, Mike. What?
This is why we're the best podcast ever. Squatter, do you have anything to say about this?
I'm trying not to cry.
From laughter, please.
Oh, Mike. On a serious note, though.
Oh, no, our Artemis, she's spoken. Yes.
Yeah, what Matthias did to Mike, absolutely in the wrong. Like, if Mike and Matthias truly were friends, have known each other since high school, you don't treat a friend the way that Matthias treated Mike.
I would agree.
You don't force them into a situation
I don't
where they
know.
feel uncomfortable.
I don't know, dude.
What do you?
If I were in Matt's situation and writing started showing up on my walls and voices started coming through the walls, and the only way I could get answers was if the sound genius could get me those answers, I'd probably do the same thing Matt did.
Okay.
I would hate it. I would hate it.
Hold on, Shades. Okay. I'm going to interrupt this because I don't want to hear the romance fighting, and it's like our dads are fighting. But hold on. I will step in and say that Matthias knows how to work sound equipment. He's not an idiot. He's even helped like compose the music for the first season. So he's not an idiot. And when it comes to sound engineering, like he was saying in the very beginning of the episode. But I do want to say he could have just asked Mike, hey, do you got equipment that we can record something from the walls? And if you don't feel comfortable, if you, well, even if you don't, we know that you don't feel comfortable with this. So I'll do the recording. Just tell me what I need to do.
Or it's Mike freaking Badal, like Grammy nominated Mike freaking Badal, like he doesn't have connections. Like, hey, bro, do you know anybody that could help us do this? Like, you don't want to do this, but you have connections, right? You know somebody that could help us do this.
Because honestly,
like,
what Mike did was he just went in there and pointed a microphone at the wall. Matthias could have done that. Woods could have done that. So
but he didn't want to mix it. He didn't want any part of this. He didn't want to play into any of this spiritual like you said, he doesn't know what you're messing with. I can understand that notion, but the way that the situation was handled, when you walk in there and someone it's like going to the company electrician and saying, hey, go up on the 50th floor of this building, go out of the window, no safety like harness, no railing or anything, and wire this light in. And they say, no, I don't feel comfortable doing that. Nobody's going to do that, right? So they go and they don't have the knowledge to do it. No one else in the company has the knowledge or skill set to do it. And then they go back and say, all right, look, nobody else can do this. I'm telling you, you're going to do this, even though it's probably not in your best interest and you don't feel comfortable doing it. I'm the boss. You're going to do it or else.
I mean, because honestly, this isn't part of, to me, it's not part of Mike Badal's contract to participate in videos and ghost footages. At least I don't think so. I'm not going to pretend I know about his work contract. But the equipment that Mike Badal uses is Matthias's because it belongs to Matthias's company. So Matthias could have easily just said, do we have equipment that we can record things from the walls? Because I know you're not comfortable with it. I would like you to record it for us so we know that.
But then it would be boring.
It's all about how the situation was handled.
What we're saying, Squatter, is that... Sorry, I thought we weren't talking BTS here, but...
I'm not.
What we're saying here is... Well,
I try to make everything as exciting as possible.
That's not true.
True.
Sorry.
I just feel like it could have been handled better, and I feel like Matthias is in the wrong. I really do. And people, I mean, you're more than welcome to disagree with me. This is just my opinion. This is just how I feel. But I feel like he's in the wrong for if Mike freaking Badal, of all people, one of the nicest people that you will ever meet or talk to in your life, if you're truly friends and you've truly known each other as long as you say you have, if that's the way you treat someone that you're friends with, you're wrong for that. I mean, all for what? To hear voices in the wall? I mean, it's not that big of a deal. You could have got anybody, any sound engineer could do that.
See, here's my thing. Like, go on, Nugs.
No, well, I was gonna say, I don't necessarily think he was wrong to do it. I think the way he went about it was incorrect. I agree.
I don't think he thought it through fully.
Right, exactly. I think he could have asked in a different way, maybe saying, "Hey, this is what we know. This is what could happen, and we want to stop it."
And it's
but
clear,
he's just essentially pulling rank. He's like, "I'm your boss. You do
which
this."
Which he is.
Right.
But still, it's like, it was clear that Mike was not comfortable with the situation. He was nervous. He was scared. And everybody's kind of laughing at the situation and making fun of him. And it's like, I'd be angry too. I would be upset too.
Can I interrupt you really quick? Sarah 1390 over on YouTube said, "Who needs enemies when you have Matt pulling a power trip on Mike like that?"
Nice.
I don't see it as a power trip. Okay, Matt originally was like, okay, I don't want to do this. Comes back, Sam and Bailey and Woods, for that matter, convince him otherwise. Matt was getting on his phone to try to figure out if he could figure it out and not have Mike do it. The others pressured him to go back.
Yeah, but I do understand that, and I think that we all.
But it's all on Matt.
But no, well, it is. He's the CEO, and it was his decision to be pressured by, like, peer
I think
pressure.
all of them are jerks.
But even
If Matt's
when
a jerk, all of them are.
Oh,
even when
I
Matt
agree.
came
I agree.
back-
They should have gone about it. They all should have gone about it a different way.
Agreed.
I think the cause, for lack of better term, the cause that they are asking it for, I think it's a good cause, but I don't think the way they did it was correct in any way, especially because it totally brought Mike out of any sort of comfort zone he wanted to be in, any sort of boundaries he had, it brought him out of it.
Right, and whatever the situation is, I mean, it doesn't justify pulling rank on a friend like that and talking to a human being the way that he was talked to. Even
Yeah,
when
I
Matt
agree.
came back to the other three and told him that how the conversation went down, you all hear them go, "Matt, really?" Like that's kind of, and he's
And
like,
you could
"Yo,
tell you could tell Woods didn't like it either.
right." And they were all like, "Really, dude? Why?" And then he's like, "We were all in agreement." And they're like, "Well, you're right, but we thought you were going to handle it differently than that."
Yeah.
It just, I don't know. It doesn't sit well with me. And Mike will
No,
be
me
missed.
neither. Me
Mike
neither.
will be missed immensely. I mean, what are we going to do for soundtracks now? I mean, there's going to be no season 4 soundtrack now.
I'll do it.
So
I'll do it.
I think
I got
Shades
it, 'cause
could
you-
sing. But
I
no,
could
you play
sing again.
guitar. Don't you play guitar? You build them. I assumed that you could play them.
Are you talking to me?
Yes.
Yeah.
you're the only
And
one
if-
on
and
stage
if-
that builds guitars.
Yes, and let's be honest, if Squatter can't, I know Nugs can play the
Yeah,
guitar.
Nugs plays guitar.
I do. I also am an audio editor, so
Yeah.
I can get a job. I'm just kidding.
Well, okay, so we could have Squatter play the guitar and Nugs, and we can have Shades be vocal. I can play
I sing
the
too.
jazzy saxophone, so
I could play the jazzy.
Well,
sax.
I can
sing.
also-
It
I
better
can
be
also-
jazzy. No matter what style, it needs to be
I'm going to play
jazzy.
the
Well-
soprano sax like Kenny G.
I'll play the death metal guitar. You play the
Okay,
jazzy
I'm on
saxophone.
drums then because
Well-
I also play drums.
Okay, I'm
we need
sorry.
a drummer.
Agent 47 popped our bubble. He said Rose.
oh,
Ah,
Oh.
Shut
darn! We were
up!
starting a band.
I was
Agent
all
47.
excited. We're the
Come on.
subject
Grab
for
my
band.
violin. I have been learning
Who
violin
let
for
him in
12
this-
years.
In the chat.
It's wasted potential now.
Squatter, don't be a little. Agent 47 and Squatter got into it earlier, so it was amazing, and I enjoyed it, and I want to tell you all the story.
Oh.
If you guys don't know, Agent 47, who is in the chat right now, he can come up on stage at any time as he wants because he is a mod. But he's a mod on the official. He's one of the official mods, and so sometimes we have to have conversations behind the scenes about moderating and whatnot, and sometimes it gets heated because we all have like different points of view and stuff, and there's always that one person who plays devil's advocate, and it's usually me. But
It reflects in the
this
podcast,
time it was David's turn, to Agent 47's turn to be the devil's
Dogs.
advocate. So Squatter called him a mean poopy head, and he was going to tell his mom.
Jerk face.
Yeah, jerk face. And I'm telling my mom. And Agent 47 said, let me roll over and tell her myself.
Bam. Third degree burn, dude. Third degree burn.
The
Sick
best.
burn.
The best. I'm just sitting there eating my cucumber.
Eating my cucumber.
Yes.
Eating my cucumber like a psychopath. Like, who does that? I'm just gonna eat a whole cucumber, not sliced anything.
Okay, so COVID. Okay, I'm getting over COVID. I actually return to work tomorrow. But I do kind of have a lingering cough, and that's about it. And so what happened was, like, people's taste buds change, and they lose. They can't smell or taste, and there's like so many different types of side effects for COVID. The only thing that is different in my life is I have been craving cucumbers. Like, and so with me, like, the best snack that I can eat is just dipping a whole cucumber in ranch and just nom, 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 nom. Like, I love it. Like, you don't even have to dice it up. It's fantastic. Like, the crunch, it's just everything I want right now. And I think it might be because I was running really, really high fevers, and so I was getting really dehydrated, and I think the coolness of the cucumber is what I was craving. But even though I'm done with COVID, I still crave cucumbers, so I just sit there and I just eat cucumbers now.
Not the cucumber.
Yes,
No.
and I eat it apparently like a psycho.
Not the cucumber.
The cucumber. And Shades doesn't like anything salad, so.
No.
Hey, Shades, I agree with
Not
you.
a
there,
rabbit.
so. I am
By
not
the
Food,
way,
food.
Ink Knight posted a poll, a straw poll, that you can go and vote on right now. I've already voted. Do you think Matt was in the right to force Mike into doing what he did? I've already voted. You can vote.
Where
we'll
is this?
Look at the results here in a few minutes.
I
Hold on.
voted and it canceled yours out.
I hate you.
You love each other. I don't like it when dads are fighting.
I voted wrong by accident.
Do you think Matt was right to force Mike into doing that? Hot or cold, what do you guys think about our subject 1 pulling the bad guy card towards his high school friend? First option is freezing, unforgivable, Matt's monster, cold. I get his reasoning, but he could have tried it first. Even the other subjects were upset. Neutral, let us know why, how, or why. And I think when they said that if you're being neutral, please comment in our chat why you're neutral. Just type in like
I better do
poll.
that then. I'm just kidding. I already-
Type poll neutral and then and why you're neutral about it. Warm, I get it. He could have tried approaching Mike in a lighter tone. Hot, Matt's right. If he had lessened the pressure, Mike would have bailed. Well, he did bail.
He did bail anyway.
It probably meant would not have.
I don't know. I kind of want an option in between cold and neutral for me. Because, yes, it was cold, what he did. But the entire team was in on it, except for Subject 4, by the way. You got to remember, Subject 4, again, did not get a decision on this. And I think one of the reasons that Subject 4 is kind of really hurt by this is because Mike Badal has been the only advocate. Like, what about Subject 4? Like, it's a emote over here on the podcast Discord. He's kind of been the only one who's ever really thought about us, other than Bailey. But Bailey is part of Subject 4 because she doesn't fall into any other subject. In fact, I couldn't sleep last night. Me, Squatter, and Bailey were up chatting. I even told her, like, she's an honorary member of Subject 4. And she thought that was, she never thought of it that way. And she's like, oh, I am. Thanks, guys. So, like, totally cuteness like Bailey is.
Is that how she sounds?
Yes. At least in my head. Bailey, like, if Bailey was ever to yell, I think I would cry and pee my pants.
At the same time,
Like,
or
oh no, Bailey, she's broken. Probably at the
I
same
feel like
time,
if
yeah.
she were angry,
Yeah, if she was
Like,
ever
just even
to
if she
get
was
angry
angry.
and yell,
yeah,
you're in the wrong.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
you better
seriously.
fall flat on your face and beg for forgiveness of the goddess
And I-
Bailey. Like,
I like what Garrett says about this. Garrett says it foreshadows Matt doing whatever it takes to get answers, and I kind of feel the same way about this. It's like this is the beginning of Matt pushing everyone away just to try and get answers and,
Yep.
and get
Yep.
to the bottom of this. And he's eventually, if he keeps on this track, he is going to alienate every single person around him who supports him, and he's going to end up alone.
Sometimes you got to be the bad guy.
Yeah, but
but
not
you
all
do.
the
So,
time.
but that's the thing about being a CEO. You have to. I get that there is a boundary between Mike being friends. Like, I'm friendly with Matt. I'm not an employee for Matt, but I do volunteer for him. So if there's any time, and there has been a couple of times, where I have fallen into some kind of high school drama, and I would have to go to Matt and be like, hey, so this happened. And I would have to, like, I flat out told him, like, this is where I was wrong, and I'm deeply sorry for that. And I would take, like, I would have to confess basically, like, as an employee. But the thing is that Matt, I think, respected that because it kept that kind of friendship terms. Like, I disciplined myself. Like, hey, I shouldn't have done that. You're the boss. Well, I've never done anything to him personally, but the fact is that Mike kind of felt betrayed by his friend and didn't really see.
So
he did not really see.
Wouldn't you feel betrayed if your really good friend that you've known since high school did that to you? Would you not feel betrayed?
One of the things about me is I self-reflect to the point of I feel like I try very hard to see both sides. And I think where Mike felt betrayed by a friend, Matt felt betrayed by an employee. And I think if they both sat back and realized they were both wrong, because you don't tell your boss, no, I'm not going to do what you just directly tell me to do in front of other employees. They're both wrong. Mike overstepped his employee boundaries and Matt overstepped his friendship boundaries. If that makes sense.
See, I disagree with that in that I don't think Mike overstepped anything.
Yeah, I disagree.
Well,
as
he didn't
Like, I don't think...
he did in
Because it's not in his job description.
Because it was Matt who had to
do
pull,
that, right?
But it was Matt who had to pull him into the break room and was like, "Hey, we shouldn't be doing this out here in front of everybody." Because that's
I don't. I'm just saying. I don't think Mike was in the wrong. Like,
No, I don't
even if
either.
I don't know if Matt is,
no,
even if I don't
professionally, Mike was in the wrong.
No, but he wasn't. He told his boss, he said, I don't feel comfortable doing this, but he ended up doing it anyway because Matt pulled rank on him.
Well, I'm not talking about the first altercation. There were two altercations. First altercation was what happened, like where Matt pulled this is my way, you need to do this because you're my employee type of thing. And that's where, hold on, let me finish.
No.
That's where, yes, I'll mute you. That's where Matt was wrong. But Mike was wrong in the very beginning from just like, he walked down that hallway, like a man like on a rampage because he was hurt, and hurting people hurt people.
Is there really like? I mean, if you're gonna quit your job, wouldn't you want to do it in the most epic way possible?
No, that's
Like,
not
I would.
professional.
I'd walk down that hall like,
No!
screw you. You're cool. I'm out.
No.
cool.
No. I
That's
mean,
when I point
because
to Bailey, and I'm
but
like-
that's the thing. It's probably because running this podcast, I've had people do that in public and didn't remain professional. And when they have exited the podcast, they did it in a very public way to basically, like, not like dehumanize me, but to, I don't know, because like I said, there are two different
but
sides of the story
Mike
here.
Okay.
didn't do anything against Matt other than saying, I'm not comfortable with this.
No,
Okay.
No, but okay, go ahead, Squatter. Go ahead, Squatter.
you let Squatter speak.
I will. Okay, I'm
now
sorry.
I forgot.
No, you didn't.
Come on, Artemis. Come on,
No,
Artemis. I'm just kidding.
All right, so we're looking at this like totally strictly through the eyes of an employer-employee relationship here, right? Or and a friend, whatever. We're not looking at the situation that they're in, right? We got this writing on the wall. We got these voices coming through the wall. Matt's got a lot of pressure on him. Granted, things were handled very wrong. And I Sroxa said something in chat too, that, none of this is in Mike's job description at all. So he has every right. He has every right to deny it. And Matt, as an employer, had no right to do it. But I can also kind of understand how Matt kind of wants to get to the bottom of this. So I understand how he would want to just, say, screw it, I'm pulling this card because I need answers.
But on the same
Also,
note, I'm gonna let Squatter finish. I just had a thought, and
there was something else that Sroxa posted last night that I saw. He posted that newspaper article, and almost verbatim from what Nelson said is sometimes you got to be the bad guy. That's what Matt said afterwards. He said, if I have to be the bad guy, I will.
But on the same note, the thought I had on the same note, when Mike came storming down the hall, and he didn't really come storming down the hall, he just kind of walked down the hall, and he's like, I did it. Here's your recording. I'm done. And they didn't really do it in a public fashion. It seems like a public fashion, but it's literally 4 people sitting in a room. And the thing that you forget is this is being recorded on camera. They didn't have to upload that footage. They could have just, put out a statement that Mike Badal is leaving. But Matt chose to leave that footage in there and upload it. Matt is the one that made it a public thing, not Mike Badal.
Oh, snap.
True. And actually, that was exactly what I was going to say.
I think both of them weren't good friends. They weren't.
Hated each other.
No,
They did.
Mike didn't see the stress that Matthias is under, that he needs to protect his people, and that like Mike said, you should have stopped this like last season. But the thing is that he could have, should have, maybe he should have, maybe he shouldn't have. But that's a moot point because we're in this season and there is no turning back, because it's not like Matt asked for these writings to be placed. He tried to stop it by tearing down the server. And what Mike failed to understand was that he's trying to do everything he can, use every asset that's available to him to stop this. Because he tried when he busted down the server. And what Mike Badal is Mike Badal is running on emotions and passion right now. And fear. And the thing is when you are clouded with fear, you don't think rationally. You react instead of rational thinking. And to blame Matt for the circumstances that they're in right now is really unfair. And that is where Mike is failed as a friend. And instead of saying, look, I don't feel comfortable doing this because I'm starting a family. I have a wife that I need to think about right now, and I don't really want this following me home, and I don't feel comfortable, but I will show you how to use the equipment. And if you have any questions, I'll be here. He could have easily done that, as Matt could have easily respected Mike's boundaries. But Mike could have respected Matt's situation a little bit better and understanding. So they both did fail. And and I was totally gung-ho on Shade's side before we started this discussion. But after thinking about it now, and after like knowing the place that, you know, of authority of like building this podcast, and, you know, when I was a manager at my work, sometimes you have to be the bad guy. And I mean, that is a typical CEO. Like, think about, did you know when Elon Musk was building all of his companies and having his ideas and stuff like that, his personal assistant was like his best friend, was always there by his side, organizing everything, getting him on track, keeping him on track and stuff. And one day she decided that she needed to have a pay raise and that she would like to take a vacation. And for the longest time, Elon Musk thought, like, no, I can't run these companies without you. But finally he let her go on vacation, and that was where she kind of shot herself in the foot, because she thought she was irreplaceable. And because I'm, you know, up there with Elon Musk. And the thing is that when she went on her like 2-week vacation, Elon Musk ran the show by himself and realized, I don't need to pay anyone in her position anymore. She's expendable. And he cut her loose. Like, when she came back from vacation, he fired her. And that's a CEO mentality. It isn't very humanitarian, but powerful CEOs they don't have that luxury to think humanitarian sometimes. So
I don't think necessarily anyone's blaming Matt for the situation that they're in now, but I do think.
But that's what Mike did. Mike did blame him.
No, he's blaming him for the way that he acted. And we'd be
he said you should have stopped this last season.
Yeah,
he did say that. He did blame Matt for this.
You're putting them all in danger.
Yes.
But that's the thing. Matt did try to stop it, but they're all being drugged back into this situation. And I agree, it's not Matt's fault that we're in this situation.
I'm so sorry. We have Mike Badal in the chat. Hi, Mike.
Hi, Mike.
Hey, Mike. We're arguing about
Mike is on YouTube right now, and he just went, wow, that's awesome.
Mike, we miss you.
You should have been here when Shades was serenading you.
Yeah.
But
he was giving you a send off.
We were. You will be missed, Mike. We are very sorry.
Do it again. Do it again, Nux.
No, he's gonna have to listen to the beginning of the episode.
No, but Mike,
I'm trying to get views here.
Mike, we've been just arguing back and forth. Well, it's a podcast. We're all friends. It's not really arguing.
No,
we have been arguing for about 30 minutes, by the way.
Yeah.
And I mean,
we've been talking about this for.
When does the podcast start?
Mike, would you? Okay, I hate doing this, but hey, Mike, we'd like to know your opinion on the poll we made.
Yeah.
Hey, post it over on YouTube, Mike. You can see that we had a poll going for subject 4. But I mean, honestly, I think a lot of things is that Subject 4 is grieving for the loss of Mike in this story because
We are.
he's been Subject 4's advocate. He has been the Ink Knight posted Mike the straw poll if you want to see the outcome of that. But we're grieving over the loss of this character because you're the only one to have ever thought, hey, what about Subject 4?
What about Subject 4?
What about Subject 4? Like, thank you for the like. You're the only one who advocates for us, and we feel left out of these like decisions when Matt makes these decisions for the group. But I do stand my opinion, and I'll say this to Mike's face. Both were in the wrong. You can't blame Matt for this.
Matt was in the wrong.
Okay.
completely.
Face like
Let
that.
me
what
finish.
What are you talking about?
I will. Everything. They were both wrong. Mike was wrong in the fact that he blamed Matthias for putting them in the situation that they are in now, when
Because
everyone
he
has
did.
free will. Well, the thing is like, okay, that is where. Do they really have free will? Well, Bailey does.
Look,
But
so
Sam
this
and
is
Woods don't have free
the-
will because of the people that are in the Synetc Corporation. They're not letting them go. This, like, it's not like Matt is sneaking into Red Base and spray painting the walls and doing this whole thing.
Or is he?
Well, I mean, BTS, he is. But
if you want to get real about it.
I think Mike was put in a situation where the outcome was either quit or be fired.
No, it wasn't quit or be fired. I
Why
mean,
would
he
he be
No, I
fired?
mean, because
He
either
complied with the
Matt
demands that were
says
made.
Matt does not
Either
have
he-
the guts to fire the Mike Badal. I'm sorry. Matt, no. Matt is not an Elon Musk. He would not fire. He would not. I mean, he would probably be very upset. But I think if they both came in level-headed, Mike less fear and Matt less well, actually, okay, I'm sorry, I'm going to say it. Mike less fear, Matt less fear. They're both being driven by fear, and it's making them do rational decisions.
Exactly.
And
We'd be foolish to think that Matt isn't scared of this too. He plays it off like a joke. He's like, oh, he's laughing about it, but really, he's terrified. Like, who wouldn't be terrified? This writing's appearing on the wall. You're hearing voices in the walls. Like, come on. He's driven by fear to get a rational explanation for what's happening, but he's finding out maybe there isn't a rational explanation. Maybe this really is what we think it is. Maybe it is spirits or ghosts.
Mike said that is kind of too simple of an analysis. Well, I mean,
I think
I'm boiling
get
it down. There's deeper things like that goes on between, especially friendship, employee relationship. There's more to it behind closed doors and that we don't get to see and stuff like that. That, of course, yes. But what we saw, this is the boiling it down. Both men are afraid. And both men, like Mike, you just got married. You're thinking about your wife. But Matt is thinking about his friends. And that he already tried to disconnect him and his life by destroying the server. He already tried doing that. And they're right back in. And so there's that fear of, it's too late. I have to, now it's I already tried the fight or flight. I already tried flight and it's not working. We're still in this and now it's time to fight. And I think that there is a rational sense of fear in fighting. But sometimes you have to be the David and pick the stones up to slay your Goliath and face that fear. And And I'm sorry, Mike. Like, this is happening where you work. Like, all the spray painting.
Where he used to work.
Well, okay, but all the spray painting. Like, I'm pretty sure Matt's fear is also for you, because it's like you're just right there. You're the only one that we see that works in there all the time. So.
Back to what I had said before, I think Matt's the reasoning for Matt asking Mike to do it was solid, but I think the way he went about it was completely wrong.
Mike says, "All right, Artemis, you're entitled to your opinion. The difference is that I don't have to work there, so I'm out."
Oh, dang.
Savage over there.
Right.
Savage,
Like,
Mike.
he's Michael freaking Badal. He don't have to work anywhere he don't want to. You tell him, Mike.
Mike is my favorite character.
No.
No, you have to work there.
No, he doesn't.
I demand it.
No.
To be completely honest, 863 Matt, I wouldn't want to work for him because I don't know if he's rationally sound.
This all stems back to
like it.
This all stems back to Mike and Matt were friends. They were friends. I feel like they're kind of not friends anymore because, I mean, Matt just completely alienated Mike completely for a reason that was unjustified. Like I said before, I mean, Mike's connected. Mike knows other sound engineers. Ask Mike, hey, do you know of anybody that can help us with this? Or, hey, could you give us some advice or how to help us walk through this? But no, instead, he forced the card and said, look, I need you to do this. I'm not giving you a choice. I'm pulling rank. You're going to do this. And it is what it is. And then at the end of the recording, which I want to talk about here in a minute, you kind of see how real this is becoming. This is not a joke. This is not a game.
Mike says, "Thank you, Shades. Thank you."
You are very welcome, Mike.
Mike, if you want to, if you have a Discord, Mike, I can.
It's called Discourse.
No, yeah. If you have Discord, Bailey has our invite. You can just, if you're friends with Bailey, Matt has the invite too. So if you can hop up on stage, we can figure out how to do that behind the scenes.
Oh, I can do my magic and get him up here in 2 seconds. Bing, bang, boom.
Well, we need to know if he has a Discord.
Yeah.
Yes. The secretary.
Bing, bang, boom. Mike pops up on stage.
But Shades greater than Artemis. See, I told you, they all like you a lot better.
They tolerate me.
No, you are my woods.
At best.
You can do no wrong.
Artemis, you're reading that wrong. That's an alligator. It's Artemis is eating Shades.
Oh, okay.
It's an alligator.
Anyway,
right, so let's change the subject.
I want to talk about because we have been on here for a bit, and there is nothing that we can do in this except for complain and feel kind of betrayed by Matthias's CEO tactics. Yeah. But there's nothing we can do in this situation. There's nothing we can do.
Unfortunately,
Mike, if you do decide to come back, Subject 4 is always your advocate. I think Subject, you're probably Subject 4's number one person because, I'm looking up at my records right now. You have done fantastic work for this series, and we thank you for that. And but Subject 4 is definitely will be on your side. And I would say, let me see the majority of this poll.
What are we gonna do for a season 4 soundtrack now? What are we gonna do?
You're gonna sing. No, we have Rose.
I'll sing on the whole album.
Yes, let's go.
So 70% of Subject 4 says it was cold. I get his reasoning, Matthias's reasoning, but Matthias could have tried it first. Even the other subjects were upset. So the 70% of subject 4 is basically on, well, okay.
Sorry.
70
I keep confusing name.
78% is on Mike's side. 13% say warm. I get it. He could have tried approaching Mike in a lighter tone. But basically, we're on your side. We are your biggest advocates, and if you do return to the show, you have subject 4's full support. So.
Yeah, he says, thanks, guys. It's not in the cards right now, but I appreciate it.
Heart of the cards, heart of the cards.
And this trend, I'm telling you right now, this is not the end of this. This trend is going to continue. Matthias is going to keep pulling rank on people, and eventually he's going to alienate everyone around him until he's alone, and he has to deal with this by himself.
Well, and if we go to thinking about Woods, I mean, Woods has been hit in the back of the head by Ben. You know, he's been in this as long as Sam and sorry, somebody's at my door. I'm sorry. But he's been in it for a while. And can you guys hear my dog? I'm hoping you can't.
No.
Okay, I'm good. But you know, he seems really, you know, in the kind of sneak peek of next week's episode, he seems really like, you know, he's like, I need to take a break. He doesn't want to deal with that, especially because this voice from inside the wall is now saying his name.
Because that's the moment that everyone realizes that this is real. This is not a game.
It's not just something.
This is not just something we're hearing from somewhere else. It's not a device that was planted. This is real. This thing, whatever it is, this entity, this spirit, this ghost, it said my name directly to me. And I'll tell you something that gave me chills that I did not realize when Artie told me yesterday. Well, after I watched the episode, she told me, she said, the Hello Woods. If you remember when he walked into the room where the body outline is with the smiley face, he said, hello. The Hello Woods was in response to that.
It was. So it's an intelligent haunting.
That sends shivers down my spine. That is terrifying.
So, I know it's kind of sounds stupid that I said it's an intelligent haunting because it's like, well, no, duh. But there are two different types of hauntings, like any type of, well, there's three. There's three different types of hauntings that any ghost hunter or paranormal investigator will tell you. There's the demonic haunting, and that is like where you walk in and you feel the weight on your chest and you smell sulfur and people get like physically attacked. That is classified as a demon haunting. And I'm not getting this from Phasmophobia, guys. Like, this is actually like real stuff that people really investigate and stuff. The second type of haunting is a residual haunting. And what a residual haunting is like, a lady in a white dress at 3:00 in the morning will walk down the stairs. When she hits the bottom stairs, she'll disappear. And she does this every single night. That is a residual haunting. It will continue to happen whether you're there or not. It just keeps happening. It does not interact with anybody. It's just a lady in a white dress that comes down the stairs. And a lot of people believe that it's like an echo in time. And the haunting that we're dealing with, it is classified as an intelligent haunting. This is something that is interacting with the environment. Usually those hauntings are spurred on by a change in the area. So like when people go into like an older house and start renovating it and remodeling it, that can trigger an intelligent haunting. And that, I believe, is what we're dealing with here. This haunting has led him to the cabinet, led him to a file, Now the woods, now it can directly communicate with him. So I posted on Reddit, and you'll see VetGirl69 posted on Reddit and said, you guys need, I wanted to write, you guys need to get your butts back into that room and start talking. Because it's intelligent. It is reacting to you. It said hello woods, not to be creepy, spooky, scary, and probably was what triggered Mike's fear. But it was just saying hello because Woods said hello. No, it is not Artemis 69. It is VetGirl 69. I would have changed it, but I think Matt enjoys that username. And by the way, it's nothing dirty. My favorite Corvette is the 1969 model, so sue me. But the whole Hello Woods is just this ghost saying hello.
So let's talk about this. Besides the Hello Woods, that was shocking, of course, great into the episode. But the one thing I do want to talk about is the obvious, the start, left, right. It's obviously giving them directions. So the things I want to talk about is, where is the starting point for these directions, and what is it leading them to?
We've had these directions before, and they were found on the QR codes that went into binary, that because they had a lock picking kit that had QR codes. Then they translated that, and it was into binary, and they translated the binary, and it gave them left or right, up or down directions, or straight directions. And so when they did that, it was actually in a desk that people presume was Deb's desk. So I'm going to put a pin in that, and I'll come back to that in a bit. So basically what they need to do is basically, they've already had this before. They already know how to deal with it. And the best way to deal with it is basically follow the point of origin where they found these directions, which is from that room. They need to start from that room and just follow it like they did last time. But going back to the pin that I put in that, there is a theory that was Deb's desk. So the person who has used this form of communication could be the ghost, because she's already spoken to them like this before, which the science babes have a theory that Deb is D3B is not Deb, and actually Jordan Kendall, and that Deb is actually dead. And they have been saying this for about like mid-season 2. They believe that Deb, well, probably in the start of season 2, they believe that Deb is dead. And so they believe that this haunting is Deb talking to them. So
I'm sorry, I just have to bring up the point that Squatter just said the ghost may be trying to just get 30 lives in Contra.
What?
Up, down, down, left, right, BA select start.
Oh, AB.
The Konami code.
Yeah, the AB. But what's AB?
No.
Yes, that's
it was a joke.
It was a joke.
Never
mind. No, but it's not.
You wouldn't get it.
I do get it. I get it too much.
I understood it, Squatter. I appreciate it.
Shades, you want to get out of here?
Yeah, let's go get a drink or something.
Okay. It would just be me and the Nug show is deafened right now.
But Danosaurus Rex does tend to agree with you, Artie. He says that the directions have to be from the point on the floor where the chalk outline is, right? I would assume either the chalk outline, somewhere in that room is the starting point.
I really like this flashback from season 1, though. It's really, really nice. I really enjoy it.
The question, I mean, everybody agrees we should follow the directions, but now the question is, we kind of tend to agree what the starting point is, but now the question is, what does it lead to? What are we being led to?
I don't know. I
A
mean,
key.
let's
Could it be the spire, maybe?
let's throw this out there. Sorry, I had to clear my throat. If this is Deb, because the voice was very feminine. If this is Deb,
I don't know. It sounded kind of like robotic to me.
Yeah.
well, I mean, it's a feminine voice.
I feel feminine right now.
That's
Oh
my.
Who was that?
God, dude,
That was my
Ron,
dad.
no.
I'm tired.
Ron, why? Can't.
That was my dad.
Oh, Ron.
Anyway, he popped in and it's all that. But I mean, Rose says on YouTube, key a file, more serum possibilities are endless, and I do agree with that. Like it's okay, so where was I before my dad came in? The voice was very feminine. So let's spitball this idea and drill it to the ground until we come up with another idea. Let's say it is Deb, and Deb is actually dead. Why would she lead them to a file of Ronald? Oh, and all of these mysterious writings. We still haven't deciphered the actual writings. Help me look closer. Can you keep a secret?
This.
What secret? What are we? And I'm wondering if that secret is that she's actually dead.
I had a thought about, the directions. What if the directions are leading them to the spire? But what if the spire's not a physical object or a place? I mean, we know that the Phantom, his name eludes me for a second.
Benjamin?
Benjamin. Gosh.
How can you forget Benji?
I've had a long day. But we know that Ben calls himself the Absolute, right? What if this spire is actually a person? What if Spire and Absolute, what if they're all code names for people? What if they're looking for a person instead of a place or a thing?
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Well, gee, thanks.
No problem. I mean, I get it.
I don't think we've seen the spire.
I don't know.
A lot of people theorize that the spire is the antenna on the roof, but that it was to send the signal of the server. The server's out.
Yeah. Well, that was the way they communicated with Deb.
D3B.
Right?
D3B. Don't even say what's the difference, because the theory that we're talking about right now is that D3B is not Deb. So that whole meme, hey guys, D3B is Deb. I'm actually thinking it's not. I think it's someone. I think they were talking to Cyphus. And that Cyphus's loyalties for Benjamin, I don't think Benjamin is on Cyphus's side. If that makes sense. Because we know that Benjamin is on nobody's side. Because
I think Dan may be onto something here. He thinks that makes a good point. He says D3B could stand for Deb.
I don't get it.
Maddie on YouTube says that Spire is an acronym, so it's AGRA from Sherlock, the first initials of the names of the group of people. And this is Sherlock from the BBC, right? I think they're talking about. But the thing about the Science Babes, Ink Knight, do you know what the Science Babes believe Spire stands for?
I'm gonna try and quote it off the top of my mind, but I might make a typo.
Okay.
Synetc hold on, let me see. Spire. Synetc psychoelectronic radiation emitter.
Yeah.
No, psychoelectronic intelligence. The eyes for intelligence.
Because what they're getting at from was there was a let me pull it up. I have it
The
on my
files
phone
in
because I was
the-
talking to Shades about it.
It's the
Sorry, I was
files
talking
in
to
the
Squatter about it.
Mountaineer, right?
I was talking to Squatter about it last night. They're taking this from the
I actually-
bioelectromagnetic paper that was found in the Mountaineer.
Yeah, those are the ones.
I'm gonna go ahead and post this
They mention
up on Discord. If you are part of our Discord, it will be in the recording. No mic chat. If I can find it. Podcast recording chat. There we are. Oh, you leaving, Squatter? Have a good one.
He already left.
Yeah, I think he's got to make dinner. This paper. So Shades, if you can see in the podcast recording chat.
Yes.
I mean, those images in the bottom, they look like spires to me.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I've said from the beginning. The spire's obviously a tower, and I'm just spitballing things out there, throw everything at the wall and see what sticks. But obviously the spire, the definition of a spire is a tower or some kind of tall structure. But I do think it is some kind of mind control device, mainly a tower. Like I said, they send out a signal which reacts with the serum that's in your system, and they have control of your mind all of a sudden. It's just like pinging someone on social media. It's that easy. They flip a switch and they have control over anyone who has come in contact with the serum.
So Rose Thorne on YouTube says, "Wait, if this theory is true, then who did B27 mean when he said he would kill her?" Sorry, it disappeared. But basically, the theory that I came up with is that B27 has a family member that they're holding hostage,
we're
and
not doing this.
Children.
I believe it's a daughter, and that is why there were toys in the Mountaineer.
Listen to Garrett. He's begging you to stop.
I don't want to do this anymore.
Honestly, this hurts.
This is why Squatter leaves.
Roland says, I don't think it is mind control by controlling the mind, but by inducing pain. Daleks, anyone? Ooh, I love it when we talk Doctor Who.
I personally think it might be just like subliminal messages.
Well, subliminal messages, that is not that's not high tech, and that you don't need a Spire to do that. Because subliminal messages, even like grocery stores use subliminal messaging. Everything from the music.
At Disneyland.
Yes, grocery stores use it. Anytime you see an ad on YouTube, they use it. Subliminal messages. That is one of the key tricks to hypnosis. A lot of people don't believe in hypnosis, which I think you're dumb. You should do some research on things that you don't understand. That's what I have to say to people who don't believe in hypnosis. Yes, but basically, hypnosis is just clever communication into the brain, tricking the brain into having an original thought, but it's actually your thoughts that you're putting into them. But to do that, you don't really need a Spire. You just need a clever person to talk to. I can just sit here and say, everyone who is listening to my voice right now, do not think of a gray elephant. What are you thinking of right now? A gray elephant.
A potato.
No. I have actually looked into that experiment, the version of the polar bear, and subjects were asked to not mention, to make up a story and not mention a polar bear or anything referring to a polar bear. The bear was referred about 1 time per minute.
And I mean, if you want Samantha, sorry, I tried really hard not to call her Sam because she prefers Samantha. Samantha mentioned Darren Brown. Sorry, my voice is going out. But Samantha mentioned Darren Brown. And Darren Brown is a very good, he's a magician, a hypnotist, a very good psychologist. And in some of his live shows, they will have posters outside the venue of, like, I'll just use yours because it's in my head because subliminal messaging, but like, let's say they put posters of polar bears. So when he asked somebody to come up on stage and to pick an animal, 9 times out of 10, they're going to pick a polar bear because they saw it as they were walking in and the subconscious grasped it, where the conscious doesn't. And the subconscious is actually a major, I think psychologists believe that our subconscious is actually 80% of our thinking. And only 20% is us actually like being conscious thought. Like me talking to you now about the subconscious, this is a conscious thought. But subconsciously, it's like it runs everything in the background, making sure you're breathing, making sure when you walk down a hallway, you don't run into the walls because it's equalizing. You don't have to actually think about staying in between the walls and not hitting the walls because your subconscious is controlling that. So your subconscious is controlling a lot of things behind the scenes that you're not aware of. So when the subconscious sees a polar bear walking into a venue, it's going to have that idea in the back of your head. And when you are grasping for an animal, your subconscious is going to throw that at your conscious and be like, oh, polar bear, we saw that earlier. But you're not going to think about that. You're just going to think polar bear and think that's an original idea, and it's not. But I mean, that is basically how we mind control. And if you would like to go in on YouTube after the show, after the podcast, I'll remind you at the end. You can go on, and I believe it's called The Assassin. You just type in The Assassin Darren Brown. And Darren Brown actually has used subliminal messaging, hypnosis, and showmanship and magician, like all of his con man abilities to trick a person into assassinating somebody. And he actually did this experiment. It's an actual, because it was filmed over for the BBC, and the BBC has strict guidelines on fakery. Like, they don't really have, I mean, they have like the EastEnders and stuff like that, but they don't have as much fake reality TV as Americans do. So the BBC funded a murder. No, Squala. It was Stephen Fry. Stephen Fry was in on it. So he was the one that was getting murdered. And
he did just call you Squala. I don't know.
Sorry,
why,
I'm reading
Garrett.
chat. I'm sorry, Garrett. Come, just hop up on stage. But yeah. So I mean, if you want to look at somebody who has done an assassin tricks a normal average human being, there's also one called The Heist. And that's where he tricks not one person, but a group of people into robbing a bank for him. Without their knowledge, he's doing all this stuff. So,
what's that one show that I think Samantha was talking about it, but it only comes...
The Ledge. That is when he
it's
tricked
called...
people pushing somebody off.
It's called The Push. That's what it's called.
Yeah, that's right. The Push. And he tricks...
They try to convince them to push someone off the roof of a building.
That was Darren Brown. Brown. And he did that in a course of one evening.
Yeah.
He had this person. But the thing is when you follow that story, it's also on YouTube. You can follow it on YouTube. I'm not sure if it's on Netflix anymore. But
It only comes on Netflix in the UK.
yeah.
You cannot
So
watch
you
it
have to get a
on
VPN.
Netflix in America unless you have a VPN.
Yes.
We don't have a
We are
sponsorship.
not sponsored, but
Not
by
sponsored.
NordVPN.
I'm not recommending any VPNs unless we're sponsored, but there are some good ones out there. Surfshark.
But anyway, or was the push? You follow a gentleman in one course of an evening, and by the end of that evening, is he going to push this person who he has deemed a horrible person, and who would make other people's lives easier if this person just died? And he's like
And
setting
some of
on a
these
ledge.
people-
He's setting on a ledge, and it's like, well, he's clearly drunk. You could say he was drunk and he slipped. You could easily say that.
Yeah.
And the thing is like, could you push this person off? And the man that you follow in the evening, spoilers, does not do it. But then it cuts, and you realize that Darren Brown has done this experiment other times, and people did push.
There are some people that actually did it.
Yes, there are people that did it.
Can you imagine the emotional trauma when these people realize?
Well, that's
that
that's
this is
the
all
thing
a
too.
setup?
Like if you watch the heist, where he's like programmed these people to rob a bank by a trigger of a song. After it happens, the people are freaking out because they were basically programmed to rob. And then nothing after that. They were just like running and freaking out. And they have like this fake gun and they're just like, ah! And Darren Brown has to come in and basically deprogram them and calm them down because they're at this like huge like hiatus and whatnot. But the thing is like what I'm trying to get when I'm talking about Darren, I can talk about Darren Brown for another 3 hours. But the thing I'm trying to get about with Darren Brown, you don't need Aspire to control people. Mind control is nothing new. The CIA has been playing with that since the 60s. It is not new. But you don't need Aspire to do that. You don't need electromagnetic pulses, an EMF field to do this either, and that is the document that we have in the Mountaineers. So the question is, what is the Spire? And a lot of people are probably confused, like, what is this? What is this Spire? Like, why are we, like, because it was brought up on the Reddit, and Matthias was a little bit confused. Well, Matthias 863 was confused by it. But if you go on to the Matthias channel and you go into the 863 series, season 3 is called The Spire. So that's why this, in case you guys are all confused, why the Spire is such like a big deal for a lot of us.
And also that the last thing that Deb ever said to us was find the Spire.
So yeah. So I don't know. You don't need a Spire to control people. That is very
Yeah,
sci-fi.
but it would make it like a lot easier, don't you
Easier,
think?
yeah.
Like,
I mean, if you could implant, like we have seen D3B talk to himself, if you can implant something into somebody to basically be their subconscious thought. It is sci-fi. It is not something that is scientific as of right now, but if you could do that, that would be a lot easier than Darren Brown manipulating someone in one night. Because you're actually in their subconscious. And that would be very hard to fight. And if Benjamin is fighting that, props to him.
it
Yeah.
does seem like he's fighting something because, I mean, the mood change. It sounds like he's having conversations with himself at this point. I mean, from the meeting in the
that's what it
parking
would
lot,
look like. That's what it would
Yeah,
look like.
that's what it
Yeah.
looks like.
Yeah. So that's
From
what
the
it
meeting in the parking lot to his mood changes in prison. I mean, it just seems like there's something going on in there. Like he's not the only person inside his head.
Yeah. And I think, I mean, and if Ben was aware of that, you would have to take captive every thought and be like, okay, was this me or was this the person using me?
Yeah.
So that would drive you insane. So, hi, Spider Prime. Sorry, Spider Prime just rolled. Hey, guys. And I was like, hey. Hi. You sound very excited. But,
Spider Prime. Spider Prime. Whatever else Spider Prime
If we were on Twitch, I would say subscribe with Prime.
Artemis as a DID
Yes.
system. Stop speaking fact. But that's the thing. I don't want DID
I know.
has already been.
I know.
I do want to say that is DID has been confirmed by Matthias. I have the proof. He's given me permission to spread that news everywhere. DID is not part of the story.
Yeah, we put a lot of
Neither
pressure
is
on making
any
sure.
any type of mental illnesses or anything like that. They're not going to be talking about.
Yes, do keep that in mind. I was just saying because you were talking and I was like, dang, she really do be describing how our brain works.
Well, I mean, I've been studying this. Like, we've had a couple of moderators wanting to understand DID, because we do have some in our community that do have DID. So we do have like some of the official moderators have come to me, and I've basically given them textbook psychology 101 about it. I mean,
they you guys can always come to us if you have any questions. I think
yes.
that's
In
pretty
case
clear.
you did not know, Inknight is a Inknight system. They
It's okay.
They
It's
do
okay.
have DID. So, but yeah, but I mean, I try not to talk about it too much in the story wise because it's not part of the story, and to
Yeah.
be out of respect. I know it's been mentioned a couple of times by Cass, but it was like one of those things like they were trying to figure out what was going on. So, but the writers have said DID. What did DID shorten?
Dissociative identity disorder.
Yeah, dissociative identity disorder. And no, it's nothing like M. Night Shyamalan's movie. So nothing like that.
Yes, please. Please.
I mean, honestly, like I
kid you
mean,
not,
I
the
don't
first time-
I
You go
don't
ahead.
have DID, and I can understand the frustrations that the DID community went through when that movie came out. But to me, it was I thought it was a fun movie. I really enjoyed it because it was part of the
it's a really
franchise
cool
that I've
movie.
been like as Unbreakable. I was a big fan of Unbreakable when it first came out. So,
Yeah, it's a cool movie, has really cool shots, but the character
It's not
is just
DID.
completely wrong.
yeah, it's not DID. I mean, they did represent DID to a degree until you got like the monster. I can't remember
Until
what
the
it was called.
monster, until the thing that can like climb walls without like if it were Spider-Man.
Yeah.
The whole I kill girls kind of thing. Like that's not how it works.
It was somebody. I understand the whole storyline. The monster was somebody who went after people who had life easy. And he believed that he could raise a better humanity of people who had it rough. And when he saw that the girl had marks all over her body and that she was actually struggling. But the thing is like, it's also kind of dumb because nobody has life easy.
Yeah.
Nobody does. Even Paris Hilton, who was born into a privileged life, she doesn't have it easy. You cannot judge a person's pain because there's no judgment on pain. Pain is pain. And the pain that I go through and the pain that you go through, nobody can say that my pain is greater. Like when I lost my mom, like Shades, I'm gonna throw you under the bus. I'm sorry. Shades lost a dog. He lost his best friend earlier this year. I lost my mom this year. I can't say that my pain is greater than Shade's pain. Because pain is pain, and it doesn't have a 0 to 10 Richter scale.
It's immeasurable.
Yes, because every individual is going to experience pain different. So nobody could ever, I don't know when this became a psychology course, but I'm sorry. But nobody should ever, maybe I can throw this at like Mike Badal. Mike Badal's fear is also a type of pain. And nobody can ever say that he did the right thing or the wrong thing, because we're not in his shoes and we don't know where he's experiencing mental wise. So
Even if you can attempt to mimic, you are never ever going to fully experience whatever the person is going through.
no. Anyway, sorry I threw you on the under the bus, Shades, about that, but it was a perfect analogy I needed.
I'll be anyone's analogy.
Let's pull some people up before we have to leave.
Yeah, we got a few minutes.
Yeah. Let's pull someone up.
Try to make these things not so long.
I know, I'm sorry.
I had more to say, but I already said it yesterday, so I'm just keeping my
By the
mouth
way,
shut.
Ink Knight is talking about, the Science Babes and now do live streams after the episode. They are here on our Discord. We have given them their own little area on our Discord. So they usually will live stream on Tuesdays. We usually live stream on Wednesdays. So if you want to get even more of a scientifical background on information and more research that I could ever, or Shades could ever do, they live stream on Tuesdays on their YouTube channel, The Science Babes. All you have to do is plug that in, and my moderators will be happy to provide links. But yeah, Science Babes. We are Subject 4 on Twitch. We also have Project 863 Reacts. They're also a good channel. They usually react to, as the episode is coming out, they react to it. They're also
We
in
also
and out
have
of our
Instagram.
Yes, our Instagram. We have TikTok.
Yeah.
We have we're on all the
Speaking of
social medias.
TikTok.
You just type in Subject 4 podcast, you will get us. So
Yeah, speaking of TikTok, Nugs recently did the thing.
but
I'm not sure.
according to
Shades was aware.
Shades, do you want to complain about that TikTok?
Do you want to scream
Yeah,
with me, Shade?
absolutely I do, because Nugs did it wrong.
He didn't
don't-
melt it.
You don't butter a cold Pop-Tart, you monster. You have to put it in the toaster and then let the butter melt into the Pop-Tart. Like, you can't just... You don't put cold butter on a cold Pop-Tart, like, you psychopath.
I didn't even get to try it, and I know
Wait,
better
is that
than
worse? Is that worse? Putting butter on a cold Pop-Tart, is that worse or better than how I eat cucumbers?
Look,
I'm
all
afraid
right,
to ask.
it's not as bad as eating a whole raw cucumber, but it's still like, that's not the proper way to butter a Pop-Tart. Like, not at all.
I can't
Yes,
believe I'm worse than cold
type-
buttered Pop-Tarts.
Everyone just... I'm gonna give you permission to spam this once. Everyone type, I am judging you, Nugs.
Yes. And what I am asking for an official redo from Nugs, and it has to be done the
Yes.
proper way before you can judge anyone, Nugs. I want an official redo.
There, it's filled up on the live stream now. I am judging you. So, do you have anyone that you can pull up to talk to us, Mr. Shaders?
Let's see. Let me get to the right screen. Oh yeah. We were talking about this person earlier. This is Toa Toababkashi,
Bob,
which
Bob,
they
Bob.
said Bob will work just fine. Bob, come on up on the stage and tell us about your theory, question, and or comment. I'm sending you an invite to speak.
And just a click up at the top. Yay!
There
Hey,
you
Bob.
go. What's up, Bob?
Hello.
Hello.
How is everyone?
Good.
Great.
Good,
How are
good.
you?
I am judging Nugs.
I'm good. I'm judging Nugs as well. So my theory was that the Hello Woods in the tape was maybe Woods' aunt that could have went to Synetc and was tested on, and the rights on the left ended up to going to that one room where Woods and Mike were in.
So it's a test subject.
Yeah.
I think it's personal. That's
Yeah.
funny.
That's why it reached out to Woods instead of anybody else, because there's
Yeah.
a personal attachment there. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But wouldn't that be? I mean, Woods's work, like his workshop, is in red base, but Mike Badal is in the red base more than Woods. Wouldn't it become attached to Mike?
I
Yes
think
and no.
We're suggesting that it's a family member of Woods.
yeah.
Hmm.
I think it all stems back to the fact that Woods acknowledged its presence first. Like
Yeah.
that's what tied into it, was he spoke to it first, and that's why it reached out and latched onto Woods.
Hmm.
There was something, and it is something that has bugged me back in season 1. They were getting the tape recorder from the tape player from Woods' house. And Woods said something about how he doesn't talk to his grandmother. And that there are reasons for that. I just thought that was.
Why does this dude have his grandma blocked?
Yes.
Like, I still want to know the story behind this. He's like, there are 2 people that in my phone that I have blocked, and that's Cyphus, which at the time
they
they
thought
it
they
was
was
Cyphus, which is the Phantom, and my grandma.
And
I want to know. I want to know why he has his grandma blocked.
I want it because that is something that could have been like edited out. Like, okay, BTS, it is fake. If you don't know that,
Yeah, it's
I'm
not
sorry.
true.
It is a written script and stuff like that, but they do improv things, and it's just something weird to improv and insert into the story that Woods has his grandmother blocks. And I'm just like, is that something we should be remembering? Is that part of the story, or does he really have his grandmother blocked? And then there's a part of me thinking, then why would they keep that in? Like,
Right,
that's a
like,
very
why leave that
personal thing.
tidbit?
Like, I wouldn't say that on YouTube.
Like, if that's a real thing, why leave it in the, like, why? What
So-
significance does that hold?
So when you're suggesting this, Bob, I immediately go back to him having his grandmother blocked. Did his grandmother pass away and this is the only way she can reach out to him? Like, I don't know. I'm sorry.
Oh my god, are you suggesting?
Is there,
Oh my
like, I
God.
like that idea that there is a family member of Woods that was experimented on. And that's how they know Woods. And I love
And
that.
for some reason, they're blocked in his phone.
Or like maybe
Wait.
there could
Oh
be
my
something in that.
goodness. Oh my goodness. Woods, unblock your grandma, call her, and see if the voice.
See if the
See if-
voice is mad.
Did I just figure out something?
Well,
You might have
it's
unleashed
always
something.
it has always been in the back of my head, but the fact that somebody else kind of said something, and I'm like, well, here, let me give you this evidence that I have been sitting on since season 1, because I've never felt comfortable saying it, because I don't know if it's real life. I don't know if it's story. I don't know. Because honestly,
I'm starting to question Woods as a person, because number one, he has his grandma blocked, Number two, he keeps declining
But-
my cameo request. What's up with that, Woods? And like,
Kala.
Woods, Shades has a thing for Woods. I mentioned to him last night that in the podcast, like, I am Matthias and Shades is Woods, and Shades is the audience's favorite, and he can do no wrong.
not true.
This
is not true.
It is so true. But
He is a lurker, though.
But I don't want to be Woods because I thought Woods was cool, but he keeps.
Oh,
declining
come
my
on.
cameos,
Where's
and I'm
Chad?
like,
Come on.
Where's
and
Chad?
now
I
he
want to
has
talk to
his-
Chad.
And now I just remember that he has his grandma blocked. It's like I don't want to be Woods.
Where's Chad? Chad loves
I wanna-
Woods.
I mean,
First of all, I want to know why you got your grandma blocked. Second of all, why you declining my cameos, homie? I'm paying you money.
Good night,
like
Ducky.
good money,
Oh,
and you're
no.
turning it down. I want to know why. Like, tell me why, Woods. Why? I thought we were cool, dude.
Ain't nothing but
Oh,
a
DMCA,
party.
DMCA.
Well, okay.
DMCA.
So, Bob, I like the fact that you said it, not me.
Yeah.
But once again, I mean, we had Sam's birth predicted before her parents were even thought about having children.
Yeah.
Her birth was predicted, and this would be an interesting because also, why would you walk in and say hello to a chalk outline? So maybe he does have like this emotional attachment because subconsciously he might recognize it as a relative.
Right, and he doesn't
I-
even.
My brain did tick something else off. Like, it might be a Winter Soldier kind of.
Or
these
his
locked memories.
Woods' grandmother is actually a Synetc operative.
God.
Dun.
I
Because
have an
not,
extra layer to
I mean,
add
when
to
we
this.
all think about grandmothers, we think about like cute little offering butterscotch to children, old ladies. But
And
not
this is the only way
everyone's.
she can get in contact with him because she's blocked on his cell phone. Don't even try Cameo, Grandma, because that ain't working.
Oh, so much bitterness towards Woods.
No, I'm bitter. I offered you money, dude.
Well, you had Sam do it for free. So.
No, I paid Sam for that. I paid Samantha for that. She
But
did that.
she
out of the
did
kindness
that
of her
thinking
heart.
she did that thinking she was doing it for free.
She absolutely did. She absolutely thought she was doing that for absolutely free, but I actually paid her double what she was asking for that. So.
Only Shades could turn subject 4 against Woods. Only you. Like,
I just want him to do a cameo, man. Like, I'm paying for it. Like, come on.
oh, I know there is a lot of people in the studio who from Spellbound, Chanel, we had Mike listening earlier. I don't know if he still is. Matt listens to this podcast.
No,
if
not anymore.
anyone he does. If so, Spellbound employee, I'm talking directly to you. Please mark, where are we at in this recording? We are at 1 hour and 43 minutes. Please play this section for Woods. so because I know he does not listen to the podcast, but please.
No, he doesn't.
No. And please film it. for our
God.
TikTok reasons of Shades confronting Woods about his cameo.
I want to know. I want to answer.
Yes, please.
want
Spellbound
answers.
employee, please play this part, Shades, with like answers, and if you could film that for us and send it to me,
That'd be
I would
great.
I would appreciate that. That would be really good TikTok gold for us. But yeah, what Shades wants to know what was wrong with his cameo, and I personally
that-
I know what was wrong with it. It's because he thought
Is
it was
my money
disgusting.
bad or something?
No,
Is my
he
money
thought it
not
was
good enough?
disgusting. He was not going to try buttered Pop-Tarts.
So he don't have to try it. I didn't pay him to eat it. I just paid him to talk about it. Samantha did it.
Jay Rosie says, to be fair, Woods does so much for this series, making the sets and props and acts, but he hasn't tried butter Pop-Tarts for Subject 4.
Oh my god.
He doesn't have to try them. I just wanted him to talk.
But that's
about
what the cameo was you wanted him to eat
Samantha
it.
did it. Like,
Well, Samantha just talked about it.
right.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted.
But no, that is not what you put in the cameo. You said you wanted them to try butter Pop-Tarts.
No, I did not. I did not say you had to eat a buttered Pop-Tart.
Oh,
ever.
I thought you did. Well, I think
No.
Dad, Mom and Dad are fighting again.
I haven't.
our podcast, it's broken. Sorry.
I know.
Sorry.
My brain
What was
is
that,
broken
Bob?
From
You probably don't remember this, but it was like a year and a half ago. I had this theory about the brain fluids of the test subjects in those vials and all that.
Yes.
When they went into the secret room. I'm still stuck on that. I don't know, I don't know what to think about it. Like, should I keep on researching about it or not?
I think every theory, unless you can disprove it with the evidence that Chanel posts, if you can actually disprove a theory directly by evidence, you need to let go of that theory. But the thing is that theory has not been disproven directly by evidence. So never obsess over a theory. Always kind of keep theories in the back of your mind. I have a theory notebook that I write down ideas and stuff like that. I have a lot of them crossed out because freaking neck. But
oh, I'm so sorry for you.
Yeah. But I mean, always try, and then because you don't want to get stuck on one theory and one idea, and then you could be missing other ideas. But because I know a lot of people listening right now, a lot of people are like, oh man, I wish I can come up with theories and ideas like how Shades and Artemis can. I don't know how the science babes can do all that research and stuff. Well, the reason they're doing all that research and the reason we have this podcast is so we can talk. A lot of theories just come by talking and having discussions. So if somebody can directly tie a theory against the evidence, you need to let go of that theory and build another one. And a lot of theories come from asking questions. And one of the questions that I have, last night, I was talking to Squatter and Bailey, and we were talking about EMF fields. And one of my theories is that the reasoning for EMF fields is that ghosts can feed off of that energy, and that is what gives them the energy to manipulate things in our dimension. So the theory is you can have it's a catch-22. If you have a high EMF field, the human brain can experience paranoia, delusions, see things. So everything that you experience in a haunting could be just caused by your brain being exposed to high EMFs. But the thing is these hauntings and stuff are being picked up by cameras. You can't manipulate a camera like you can a human brain with high EMFs. So but what you can do is you can have high EMF fields feed the hauntings and feed the ghosts. That is that is theories of people who study paranormal activity and stuff like that. So you can have high EMF fields affect individuals, but if you have evidence that you can that it's not just a certain individual being sick by EMF, then you have to figure that the EMF fields are feeding the ghosts. That's why they go, like, basically the team needs to go in with the EMF detector to prove if there's a high EMF field. If there is, we do have the Spire in the Mountaineer. We have that document that shows electromagnetic fields and manipulating people by that. So they really need to look into that. And one of my theories that I was talking to Bailey and Squatter about last night, and I'm talking about this is like 12:30 a.m. my time. We were talking about this. And Squatter believes that there is a spire next to the building that is actually creating a high EMF. My theory is that Matthias, when he destroyed the server, I don't think the server's unplugged. And when you have a damaged electronic equipment, especially older equipment that don't have surge protectors like new equipment does, but you have an older server built back in the early 2000s, he damaged that, but still left it plugged in, can create a high EMF field. And that could be feeding the hauntings. But Squatter believes that it is actually the spire. And my question, what I left off when we finished our discussion was, well, why would Synetc make that to trigger a haunting? So that is how you build theories. Question. You have to be very good at asking questions.
Yeah.
And then you go from there. And we kind of left it at the Spire one. Because again, I do believe that the Spire is going to come in play. I don't think we've seen it. The thing on the roof, again, I've seen it in the comments. The thing on the roof was for the server. It was not an electronic. It's not the Spire. I don't think we've seen the Spire yet or discovered it. But why? Why would Synetc build that? I don't know. I have no idea. Unless, okay, we're going to go back into the Philadelphia experiment. The Philadelphia experiment, you can look it up on Wikipedia, but basically it was back in the 40s, the U.S. was trying to evade German, what is that called? Help me. Radar. Sorry. It was trying to evade German radar. So they were trying to make a ship invisible to radar. But some experimentations in Philadelphia, I can't remember the ship's name right now, but the Philadelphia experiment was that experiment to render a U.S. Navy ship invisible. A lot of people and conspiracy theorists believe that they actually created the ship invisible. Like turned to the naked eye, turned it invisible. And when the ship came back, it was a tragic accident and everyone died on that ship because when the ship came back, it couldn't differentiate bulkheads to human bodies. So basically, human bodies were fused into the bulkheads. So if we were trying to render Synetc, we do know Synetc went underground. Here's me building a theory out there for you guys right now. You're live, like this is live right now. This is me building this theory. Synetc went underground. We know that because by the snake, it went from the clover to the snake emblem. They went underground with the snake emblem. What better way to piggyback off of the Philadelphia experiment by using a spire which has electronic magnetic fields into making your undercover evil operation invisible with high EMF fields by the spire. So thus fueling this haunting. And what we're seeing is the people who were left invisible crying out for help. So that, I mean, when I posed that question to Squatter last night and said, why would Synetc make that? That could be a possibility. But that's me trying to put science into the science fiction story.
It's working.
I mean, it would be interesting because we're hearing voices from the walls, and we had U.S. Navy sailors being fused into bulkheads back in the 40s. Maybe Synetc is in the walls because they were fused in there by a new Philadelphia experiment that was, maybe that's what Project Pegasus was. Who knows? I don't know. But, yeah. I think I need to stop rambling. I can ramble forever. I keep rambling. I'm so sorry, Shades. I'm so sorry,
you can
everyone.
Stop rambling. You can explain why everybody's judging me.
Oh,
Yes.
Oh, Ink Knight
Because
will
you
do
eat
that.
Pop-Tarts wrong, Nug.
Yes, Nugs. Nugget man.
So, how?
You don't put butter on a cold Pop-Tart, you monster.
Didn't melt the
You don't
butter.
put butter on a Pop-Tart, period.
Yes, you do.
No.
Everybody knows that.
No.
It doesn't look
So-
bad.
We are normalizing buttered Pop-Tarts.
Our podcast, it's
Pop-Tarts are
broken.
disgusting.
Everybody's gonna be fighting you right now.
All right, Bob's got to go. He said Pop-Tarts are disgusting.
Bob, thank you
I'm
again
Bob,
for
I'm
your
Bob.
theory. Keep
I'm
post.
Australian, so calm down. I've never had.
They look
Oh,
Oh no, we gotta.
I also don't have.
Yeah,
a chance
we're gonna have
try
to
them.
send some Pop-Tarts internationally.
send
Maybe
some
if you become a
Pop-Tarts to you
member,
guys.
we'll send you an honorary Pop-Tart.
Yeah.
But
and then you have to record yourself putting butter on it and telling
Yes.
us how good it is.
a warm
I mean-
Pop-Tart, butter on a warm
I
A
mean-
Pop-Tart.
toasted Pop-Tart that's hot.
Sugar on top.
Never
Not
put
cold.
a Pop-Tart in a toaster.
Oh, what? It's called
Nope.
Pop-Tarts because they pop up.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
You don't have Pop Rocks on your Pop-Tarts? I'm just kidding.
No.
Artemis, did you just slam the table?
No,
Yes, I
I've
did.
never put a Pop-Tart in a toaster. I've eaten them straight out of the package. That's about it.
Well-
think,
You
I
don't.
think Shade's gonna
Absolutely
cry.
not.
I think
Under
Shade's
no
gonna cry.
circumstances do you
Oh,
ever eat
no.
a cold Pop-Tart.
Oh no.
I'm gonna say thank you,
You
Bob.
need to stop. You were a monster. I'm sorry.
Okay. I'm going to say thank you. Thank you, Bob, for your theories. Keep posting about your theories. I haven't heard much about the theory. Repost it about your theory about the brain fluids.
No, I'm not sorry.
Yeah, please repost that because now we have like the science babes posted up on Reddit. If you're an 863 plus member, posted up over on the app.
Sadly, I'm not.
Yeah, well, sorry. You know, post it up on the Discord, our theory section, or even we even have an Ask the Science Babes. If you have questions about science and stuff like that, to build on your theory, I suggest posting it into their direct links that are off to the side. But keep questioning things, keep producing things. Like you just, right now, you guys experience what it was for Artemis to create a theory on the spot, on the fly right now.
Yeah.
You basically just ask questions and then look at the evidence and see if you can find some evidence to support or disprove that question or to give you an answer. That's basically what you do. And I had like this jumbling mess in my brain. But thank you so much, Bob. I hope you have a great evening, but we're going to have to wrap up the podcast.
Yeah, we're at the 2-hour mark here.
Yes.
So
I'm sorry. Sorry. Shades he went straight from work to talking with us. So he's had a long day and he's probably starving. So, But we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. I do want to make, I just thought of something. If you are an 863 Plus member, it is no longer Spellbound Plus. It is 863 Plus. And Nugs, you saw Zoe's. You saw Zoe's comment. Where's Zoe's comment? There it is.
The ones where she was talking, I don't know. So
yeah, so it's no longer Spellbound Plus. It is now 863 Plus. So it has a new URL. So if you're trying to look for it on your desktop, you'll need the new URL. And I'm trying to find copy link.
It is 863.spellbound.com now.
Yes. So I'm going to post that into chat.
I had saved the old URL.
Stop picking me off.
I did stop. I had saved the old URL. If you saved it onto a bookmark or something, it doesn't work. You have to type in this new URL, re-sign in, and save it as a bookmark because the old one won't work at all.
So
What you can do is if there's any old links that you have bookmarked to specific posts or theories, I think all you gotta do is like erase the plus and place 863 in there, and the link should still work.
So it's 863.spellbound.com. And that is because it's no longer Spellbound Plus. It is just 863 Plus, and they're doing their changes onto the app. So if you are one of those that were having trouble on the desktop, try the link. If you are still having issues, feel free to ping me up on Discord. I do not mind pings as long as I'm not being spammed by them. But feel free to ping me or Shades, or you can even ping Nugs. Nugs will get a hold of me. We are moderators over there. We can figure it out.
All you want. I'm just kidding. I don't need 1,000 pings.
We can figure out how to help you with that. If you are a Plus member, we do want you to continue to use those services and have the ability to get the Behind 863 and the podcast and the evidence files and the official Discord. So feel free to ping me if you're having any more issues with the desktop version. This is just the desktop version. This is not the app version. The app should have just updated and, now it looks completely different and you have to relearn the app. But I do want to say thank you guys for being fantastic audience. We had so much to say about this episode, especially with the whole Mike Badal thing. That almost took an hour. So if you've been with us the entire 2 hours, thank you so much. And thank you to all of our members. Thank you for everyone who likes and subscribes. You guys are very important, and that's what Subject 4 is all about. We do have other mediums out there. We do have Twitch streamers. We are Subject 4. We also have two, off of the top of my head, we have 2 YouTube channels out there. We have 863 Reacts, where he does a live reaction to the 863 episodes. He's a good one to go like and subscribe. We also have the Science Babes here if you are more of a scientific person and you would like to, again, their research is out there so you can build theories on top of it. They're trying to make it as easy as possible to build your own theories. So it is not wrong for you to piggyback off of any research or any ideas that are expressed on this podcast. The only thing we ask is if you do take our ideas, that you put it in your own words and you build off of it. No ideas like stealing. Please, if you hear anything on this podcast that triggers something and you want to build off of our ideas, that is more than okay. But I know we're having some issues of some people in our community who are just taking posts from like the Science Babes research and just making their own. Please quote. If you are getting research from the Science Babes, please just give them a shout out. They worked very hard for that research. But thank you everyone. And I hope you guys have a very great great rest of your week. And we should see you here Saturday for Subject 4 Plays. So I don't know where we're playing yet. So we'll figure that
No
out.
clue.
No clue.
idea.
I know that
We'll have to
everyone
wait and
chose
see.
everyone chose Among Us last round. Shades, we need to get you to play Among Us.
I know. Yeah, I do need to
Yeah.
play.
Yeah, I think that would be fun
Rock,
because
paper,
it's
scissors.
We could play Go Fish.
Shades, I'll
That's
play
not a
Go
bad
Fish with
idea.
you.
I'll play
Okay.
Go with Fish with you.
I don't want to.
Like,
There's no
like
I
all
actually do want to play like a card game like poker or something. I feel like that'd be really fun.
Well, we do have Uno.
Oh, I hate Uno.
we could also do
Hate
Cards Against
Uno.
Humanity, but that's a little bit unfriendly.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and let our audience on YouTube go. Thank you guys for participating and thank you for commenting. Sorry we only got to a couple of people, but again, we were reading chat this entire time. So if you have any ideas out there, please post on Reddit and we could probably feature your post on Reddit. But you guys have a great week, and again, don't forget to like this video and comment and subscribe. And we'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye, everybody.